just a boy. Christmas brought so much joy. Couldn't wait for the presents and laughter. I couldn't sleep late at night, looking for Santa with lights. Those are the memories I still remember. Then I became a man, lost sight of who I am, but right in front of me was the answer. 'Cause on Christmas I feel joy, and I turn back to a boy. The answer is to stay young forever. This is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song, this is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song, this is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song, this is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song.
Hello, Star Wars fans! You know, there's just 1 week until Christmas Eve, only 8 days until Christmas 2024. And we are on the eve of, well, the day of the release of the latest episode of The Skeleton Crew. So good to see you here today. I saw Nathan first in the chat. Thank you, Nathan. He says, hi, and hope everyone is having a great day. Thank you, Nathan. And then Nathan had a really good text. I saw this just a second ago. And he says, I have a theory about the crown jewel planets of the Old Republic. If you look at the navigation of the ship, Mandalore, Corellia, Mustafar, Tatooine, Hoth, Coruscant, Bespin, they might be the jewels. And Aten is part of that. I've seen this theory, and it might hold a little bit of weight, meaning that Mustafar, before it was turned into a lava planet, was a normal planet with vegetation and all of that. And of course, if you play through the VR game, you can see how it became the lava planet that we know it as. Tatooine once had water, but is now a desert planet. If you keep following, each of these planets perhaps had some sort of major event that changed it from being a crown jewel to destroyed. Now, Mustafar is not destroyed. It's still there. We know even that it recovers slowly over time. By the time you get into Rise of Skywalker and you see Ben, it starts off Kylo Ren working his way across the planet. There are people there, right? And then Tatooine, of course, not destroyed. It's got a whole civilization on it. Hoth also inhabited. So it's hard to say if that's what they mean. There are other theories. Isn't it great? We don't know. And so we got to follow along and find out along with the people on the planet. Mike Porter, hello. Good to see you, my friend. We have our Mike Porter dad joke today. Good to see you. Seth, probably going to have to watch next week's Skeleton Crew episode Christmas morning. You know, that's my poll question today is the next two episodes of the Skeleton Crew, episodes 5 and 6, are released on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. Will you be watching on Christmas Eve when it releases? Or will you be spending time with family? Maybe you have holiday plans. Maybe you're traveling. I don't know. What are you going to be watching Christmas Eve? What about New Year's Eve? New Year's Eve, often a time where people get together and celebrate the end of a year at the start of a new year together. Will you be watching on New Year's Eve? Maybe you can watch on both when they're actually released. Or maybe, like Seth, you'll be watching it the day after or the day after the day after. I don't know. What do you think? Baymax, yes. Jewels are often referred to in the family jewels. Same idea. You're being funny, but no. What do you think? Will you be watching on those release dates, or maybe a bit after? For me, I know here I will not be doing the predictions show on New Year's Eve nor Christmas Eve, and I won't be doing the review on Christmas Day nor on New Year's Day. However, that doesn't mean the predictions end. No, my friends. I will still put together the predictions game. We'll send it out so people can put in your predictions for each episode. And when I get a chance to watch the episode, I will go through and grade the results and post the results to our Discord. So if you're not a member of our Discord, please, the link is in the description of every single video. And if you put !Discord in the chat, you'll get a link to our Discord server. Come join us over there. We talk about Star Wars all the time and post all kinds of content over there. We'd love to see you join us if you would. So I'll be posting those episodes as they come. Mike Porter says, maybe I'll watch on Boxing Day, but New Year's Eve will be football. Yes. And I did check out Red One. I saw your comment about Boxing Day. You know, in Red One, there was Santa gets 1 day off a year, Boxing Day. Other than that, we're getting ready for Christmas. I like that a lot. Red One, I liked it. It's now on Amazon Prime, and we were able to watch it there. I cannot go to the theaters in late November or December just because of the Santa work I'm doing. It's impossible. It can't be done. So I was happy to see it show up on Amazon Prime and watched it there. And you guys, the predictions game, for every episode, we go through and grade your predictions, my predictions. And if you get as many correct or more than me, you can show up on the Wall of Fame right here. Just like Mike Yaney and Matt Risman, Mumbo Jumbo, and others, you'll see you can join us on the Wall of Fame. And if you are able to keep up through the season, well, we also have a season leaderboard. And the season leaderboard are those who have played through the season. They're keeping up and they want to show up. You can, if as long as your points add up to as many or more than me, then you can make it on the season leaderboard. At the end of the season, when all is said and done, if you make it to the leaderboard, you can pick some Star Wars Santa merch from our merch store, and I will purchase it and have it shipped to you, no cost. You don't have to be a member or supporter. You don't have to be a patron. You can simply play the game. So the link to the predictions game is in the description here as well. And one thing I forgot to do, let me do this real quick because I know I'm going to have to in 1 second. And I wasn't thinking this through ahead of time. All right, I've got to share my screen so you guys can see as we go do the predictions together here in just a moment. There we go, share. Okay, so we'll let's get this up here. Sorry about that, folks. I meant to have that done. I normally get it done ahead of time. I just fell behind. There you go. Fitz, he put it in there, the ! Discord, and that will give you the Streamlabs, will give you the Discord link. And then likewise, we have Streamlabs bot set up. You put in exclamation point chosen pun, and it will let you know how to find Mike Porter over on the Twitter X. Mike Porter, the chosen pun. We love Mike here, and we share his dad jokes often as part of our show. Nathan, I'm making the prediction the planet they go to is Hoth. Also, remember, friend talks out a kid who missed their assessment test, went underground. Maybe all those kids end up as soldiers. Oh, we're going to talk about that a little bit, Nathan. I like where your head is on this. And I, too, have a prediction. We'll share it in just a moment. Mike Yaney, hello. I also have some explaining to do. I've got some explaining to do because the last couple of days, I've posted some YouTube members-only videos. One of them came out more public. That's because I'm new to doing the members-only YouTube videos. And yes, Peanut is being chatty. She just said, hello, bird. Yeah, hello. But she, Peanut's our African gray parrot back here behind me. But so YouTube has started a new incentive program for content creators to create members-only posts and content. So that's what I've been doing. I've been posting those required videos and posts so that I meet that incentive program's requirements. So you will find there's a new series of 15 minutes with Santa. These are 15-minute, give or take a minute or two, 15-minute videos where we talk about random Star Wars topics. So it might be just scrolling through the Twitter feed. It might be, as I did today, it might be some background, some legends about who is Abeloth and what is the Maw, because there's some theories out there that these jewels of the old Republic are being obscured by the Maw. And what is the Maw? And how would that be tied into the Skeleton Crew? And how would that tie to Abeloth? Abeloth, how's it tied to Ahsoka? Where all of these shows may be setting up for between Skeleton Crew, Ahsoka, and the Mandoverse, a threat to the galaxy in the form of Abeloth. So that's on our members only today at YouTube. It's the 15 minutes with Santa for today. I've got a lot of work to do on that. The thumbnails are terrible. That's what happens when I do them by myself. We've got my friend Baymax helps me with my thumbnails, and I just created a bunch of them yesterday, all three of them. So they're not that great. My thumbnails are terrible, but they're for members only, and you can follow along there. Get caught up with the chat. So again, if you're a member, one of the YouTube members, come check out the members only content there. It's a new incentive program that YouTube has put in place. All right, so let me go back. Let's see. Mike Yaney, hello. Real Ben, oh yeah. A little story about the underground was 100% foreshadowing. Oh, the underground, maybe being miners. Oh, there's so many things. Yes, I think foreshadowing is definitely a play. Nick, hello, my friend. Good to see you. There's another guy that just likes to poke the bear. He knows I love Rey Skywalker, and she's my favorite character from all of the movies. Rey Skywalker, I absolutely love her character, and I'm excited about the potential of new movies. But Nick, he's always in there hazing me. It just like fits right there. You guys, yep. See, I told you. That's what they do. A lot of people overlook the fact that the Skeleton Crew is still part of the Mandoverse. Yes, it feels like people are forgetting that. It's easy to forget that, right? Hey, Quentin. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. It is easy to forget. And I saw that a guy who loves Star Wars, Mike, he's going to be doing some predictions. And he's questioning, will Din and Grogu show up in the Skeleton Crew? It is during the Mandoverse. It is after episode 3. And we know season 3. And we know in season 3 of The Mandalorian, they came in contact with these pirates that we've already seen in the Skeleton Crew. Might Din get a phone call? Say, hey, Din, buddy, could you go take care of these pirates that you've run into before? They're causing some problems out there. So it's possible. It's possible. Quentin says, people not liking Skeleton Crew think it's pretty good so far. I think it's pretty good too. It's just not many people are watching, but in relative terms. Mike Porter, it'll be interesting to see all the characters that in the timeline to get together and the possibility of older Omega. Could you imagine a movie with the Mandoverse characters? Oh, it's coming. It's coming. We have some things coming. We've got Jon Favreau's Mandalorian and Grogu. Might they run into some of these other characters? We already know some big leaks that came out. None of them include anything like this for either Ahsoka nor the Skeleton Crew. The leaks that have come out about the Mando Grogu movie. But we also know Dave Filoni is going to be making a movie in a couple of years. It's going to be a couple of years still because he's just getting started on Ahsoka. They're going to start filming over in the UK here very soon. But once that happens, they get Ahsoka season 2, and he starts writing his movie. It's supposed to bring together all the pieces from Ahsoka, Mandalorian, and perhaps even the Skeleton Crew into one big movie, Avenger-style movie. So there's some discussion of that. Let's see. I saw Discussing Film posted the other day. One of the Shadow Council members are in the Favreau movie. So Shadow Council confirmed? Yes, I've heard the same. I've absolutely heard the same. I haven't seen like in any official stance yet, but the Shadow Council rumor, not only Discussing Film, but I've heard at other places say that this Shadow Council dude is in that movie. Nathan, I think Abeloth is coming, and she will need an army. Bold prediction: the Vong will be the army. Well, I don't know. I honestly just do not know. It's a big galaxy, isn't it? And The Force Awakens, the sequel trilogy, there's no mention of any kind of former big thing. We've had no indication that something on the scale of Abeloth or the Vong, or Yuuzhan Vong, anybody like that, or the Grisk from the Thrawn novels have made their way into this universe for this big event. But that being said, the sequel trilogy is kind of focused in one specific area. There's a big galaxy, and the sequel trilogy is like in the course of just a few days in a narrow portion of the galaxy. Could be a lot. We need the Vong after the Empire. Maybe. I think the Grisk is a better solution, and it's been set up in the Thrawn novels. I think the Grisk coming in after the sequel trilogy is a better solution than the Yuuzhan Vong. My own opinion. So there you go. The real question is, does Dave channel his inner George Lucas and just go out on a limb with something crazy like Abeloth, the Vong? That's the wild card. Well, yeah, it is the wild card. And do you think George Lucas would have done anything with Abeloth? I say no. I don't think there's any chance whatsoever that George Lucas would have done anything at all with Abeloth. If he did, it wouldn't be anything at all like we saw in the novels. It goes so counter to many of George Lucas's thoughts and world building around the Force and Force users. It's just so antithetical to all of that. I don't think it's possible. I don't think he would. But Dave Filoni's another animal. And will he do it? Will they just take the idea and then strip away all the other stuff and use some completely different version of Abeloth that's never been used, that's never been seen before? I reckon it's possible, but why use an established Legends character in a way that's entirely different than the way that they were created in Legends? I'd rather just make up a new character. But we'll see. We'll see. Baymax, the new vintage collection, special action figure 3 set. If you haven't seen this, we've had a campaign. Hasbro's had this holiday campaign running for some time, where every week they release new figures, new toys. This week, the Black Series, they released a new Black Series figure. Let me go look it up here real fast. I saw it earlier, but I've got it. I can't remember what it was. Black Series figure. It's a Clone Trooper and a Super Battle Droid 2-pack. Clone Trooper and Super Battle Droid from the Black Series. The vintage collection, however, has this special action figure set. It's called The Journey of Anakin Skywalker. There are 3 figures in there. It's got Anakin from the Clone Wars, Vader Anakin, like right at end of Revenge of the Sith, before he fights with Obi-Wan and is disfigured. So you've got Darth Vader. This still looks like Anakin. And then you've got full-on Darth Vader from the end of Return of the Jedi, where Luke takes his helmet off. Really good. Really good set for vintage collectors. That was released today as well. All right. We've been yammering. We've got some Skeleton Crew predictions to get into. And as we get into these, I want to remind you all some of the scenes we've not seen yet. And to set it up, at the end of episode 3, the kids presumably had the coordinates back to Aten, right? Kim, that little owl creature lady, Kim had used her skills to locate Aten and print it out on a data card. They took the data card with them and left. Presumably, they can put that in their ship and boom, go back to Aten. Oh, what happens? What happens? Fitz says, I just added my predictions. Nearly forgot. No cheating. What do we have here? Brogu says, crazy thought on Skeleton Crew. Wim's father is not letting on to what he knows. He definitely knows something. When they're talking, he's sitting there. He's kind of withdrawn from the other group. Like he knows something. He's just not saying. And he works for part of the government and knows certain things that other people don't. This is, I believe he may be a pirate and have the ship that Wim found as his. He went directly there when looking for it. I don't think so, Brogu. I I think he went there because that's where the trail took him. I think it led straight there, but I think he knows a little more about who the leader of this planet at Aten, the town or the civilization that they live in. I think he knows a little more, but what, like the Wizard of Oz, I think he knows who's behind the curtain. And I think we have a little bit of Wizard of Oz situation going on where Aten's being controlled by somebody behind a curtain, right? Making themselves look to be something maybe they're not, and keeping that civilization in the dark about what's going on in the bigger world around them. So yeah, I think that's so we left with them with this data card and their hyperspacing. I want to show you some other things that we have not yet seen from the skeleton crew. And we'll start here. We're going to start here. And this is just a higher res image. Matt Risman provided this to us. This is the higher res image of that scroll. And here's Kim right there in the middle. And here's this map with these jewels of the old republic. You see 9 orbs. Some people speculate that maybe this one in the middle is a black hole. And that's what leads to this whole idea about the Maw and tying into Abeloth. Or maybe there are 9 planets of the crown of the jewels, right? Maybe there's 8 planets in the jewels plus the black hole, the Maw. 9 planets. We don't exactly know. I don't think the Maw is involved, and I don't think they're being, hidden by the Maw. I think there were 9 planets, and what these 9 planets are is really the question. These are the jewels of the old republic. Looking forward to learning more about that. But then these are some scenes that we haven't come across yet. We have got the ship being attacked, and it is coming apart. You can see Wim here in the turret, like we saw in the last episode. Wim is in the turret, but this ship is coming apart. It's being destroyed. How much of it will survive? We don't know. Then we have this other scene that comes from what appears to be like a casino kind of planet, right? This is like a casino planet. Here you can see this is one of the pirates. This is oh shoot, what's his name? He was in this show. I almost had his name, I forgot it. But yeah, you can hear Peanut in the back going pew pew. Yeah, you got things to say? Pew pew. Oh, taking fire from Peanut. So Urkel, right? This is guy played Urkel. That's in the background. And here's the casino planet. And this casino planet has snow on it. In this snowy casino planet where the pirates are, and the kids are here like disguised. And there's Smee, right? 33, the robot. And you can see the whole entourage there making their way through the casino planet. There's also this giant crab turtle beast that's on this snowy planet. All of this is together, right? This and the casino planet, and that it's all this like this snowy planet. When are they going to go there? When are they going to go there? Mike Porter, another dad joke. When will Star Wars visit Planet Fitness? Planet Fitness. Oh, very funny, Mike. And then we've got this other scene. I'm just close some of these tabs. We got this other scene where they're like in an Indiana Jones kind of situation. You see them go into a vault room where there's tons of loot, right? Or if you think back to Goonies, where they find the shipwreck and it's got all the treasure in there. They're making their way into a treasure room. And in the Goonies, they had to make their way through all these traps. and you see the kids going in a similar situation. They've got to avoid these traps, and they step on one of the traps, and this laser beam comes above their head, and it's like cutting through the rocks, and they survive it. We don't know where that is. And then, as pointed before, there's this battle that seems to be taking place. You can see the kids here, right? All four of them holding spears and weapons. There's a bunch of destruction around them, and they seem to be going into battle. Where is that? Where is that? So none of that's happened yet. And when we start to do our predictions, we're thinking they've got this data card. They jumped into hyperspace. Is the data card taking them to Aten, and then they go to these other places? Or are they going to these other places on their way back to Aten? How is it that we end up in these scenes that we have in the trailers, in the previews? Which comes first, right? So I've got my predictions. We'll get into them in just a second. I think Wim's father has found some type of treasure. He gave his son those credits like it was nothing. Yeah, what's going on with the treasure? Oh, there's Joshua. Are you enjoying Skeleton Crew so far? I am. And how's it rank so far from what you have seen with other Disney Star Wars shows? Joshua. Hey, KG. How's it rank amongst others? So far, I've given it like 7.5s and 8s. Not a 10 out of 10, but very good. Very good. How's it rank? I'd say behind Mandalorian. Mandalorian's been my favorite of the Star Wars shows. I liked it a bit better than Acolyte. I didn't hate Acolyte like many people did, but there's some issues I have with it that keep it from being in the top tier for me. Acolyte was good, not great. It could have been great, but there were some issues there. Then Obi-Wan Kenobi. Well, how do I rank Skeleton Crew with Kenobi? I'd probably put Kenobi and probably Book of Boba Fett above Skeleton Crew. I don't know. We'll have to see how this all plays out. It could end up being higher. So for now, it's good. It's really good. Andor. Do I like it as well as Andor? I probably like it better than Andor from a fun perspective, from a writing perspective. I would say all the way around. I probably like it better than Andor, but Andor is really good. Like none of these are bad. And hello, KG. Oh, yeah, it's way up there for me, but Andor always be the top, likely behind Mando as well. I'm hoping the Mandalorian and Grogu movie will turn out great. I'm hoping it will. We'll see. We'll see. Real Ben. As long as this show is a consistent 7 or 8, then it's a win. Exactly. A much needed win. Not only that, but it's got great word of mouth, right? It's getting some great discussion. And hopefully during the holiday break, when people are home, they'll start watching it more. And we'll see people catch up to it. And we'll see the viewership numbers rise. So far, it's not cracked in the top 10 of new streaming originals. And it's the first Star Wars project to not do so, even after the Acolyte did. But Skeleton Crew has not. Joshua, I hope we see Hondo Ohnaka. I would love to see Hondo Ohnaka. Do you think there's a good chance? No, I don't. I think before the show started, I would have said yes, 100% he has to show up. At this point in the show and what the show runners have said, I would say no, but they could be lying. I wouldn't put it beyond them lying and Hondo Ohnaka showing up. Hopefully when the series is completed, its run will increase in viewers. I hope so too, Fitz. I hope so too. So we're going to get into our, could Mando and Grogu be in the show? Joshua asks. They could. It does happen in the time frame. But we've been told that there are no cameos from other characters from other shows like in Leeds. We've seen the pirate guy from the other show, but I don't know that we will see Mando or Grogu in the show. It's possible. We'll see. A guy who loves Star Wars, Mike, is going live this afternoon. I think he's going to try to make a case one way or the other. We'll see what he says. But here's what our predictions look like. We have 10 questions where you say yes or no, and then we have a fill in the blank. And what I will do is I'll fill out my predictions right here alongside, and we'll talk about my thoughts on some of the points that you all have brought up. I'm going to switch back over here to our episode 3 Wall of Fame, right down in the crawler there. But let's go through the questions. We'll look at what you have said so far, and I will put my answers in as well. Who are you? I'm Star Wars Santa, right? And then the first question: a pirate gets shot with a blaster, non-lethal. Wow, this is tough. This is tough because where are we going? Are we going to at Aten? Are the pirates going to be there? Are we going to this casino planet? We already know the pirates are there. And will there be blaster fire amongst them where somebody will get shot? Oh, it's a tough question. So far, 55% of you are saying no, and I am going to agree. I think no. The second question, a non-pirate, so one of our kids, and by the way, Smee counts as a pirate. So if the droid gets shot, it's a pirate. No, he said so. He said, we're pirates. So he counts as a pirate. If who would be a non-pirate who gets shot? Somebody in the casino? I've not seen any scenes where it looked like there's a casino battle. You remember in the trailer where they want to go to the buffet and Jod says, we're not going to the buffet, right? And they're like in a hotel room. So I don't think so. I don't see that happening. Someone is killed. Well, if we see that giant turtle monster thing, and we saw the one guy kind of get picked up through the top, he could get killed. The giant turtle monster thing could kill someone. So I'm going to say yes, but boy, I might be wrong. But let's see what you guys said. So first of all, the non-pirate, 56%, almost 55. Well, 55% of you say yes, a non-pirate will get shot. Well, look at there. And then on someone getting killed, 67% of you, 2/3 are saying yes, someone's getting killed. So we visit more than one world or planet, and space travel doesn't count. Asteroids don't count, right? Will we visit another world or planet? I want to say yes. Like, I think maybe we're going to the casino planet. Not entirely sure. Might be somewhere else. But I don't think we're going to make it. Hello, Gray. Ho, ho, ho. There's my friend. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. Joshua says, Neil meeting Grogu would be amazing. It would. This show really is predictable in some ways and not in others. I know. We've seen these previews. If we hadn't seen the previews, I would say, yeah, they're going back to Aten. But we've seen some previews that have me, like, I'm not so sure. Like, if they went back home, what would be the way they go back out and end up in this casino place and in the treasure place? And how does it, and in this battle place and where things are destroyed? Like, I don't know how all that happens if they go straight back to Aten now. I don't know. Yeah, the cuteness factor would be off the scale. Yeah, Neo and Grogu, for sure. So visit more than one world or planet. I'm going to say yes, because we've got two different storylines going on. We've got the kids' storyline and we've got the parents' storyline. So if they show us anything from the parents, like the hologram, holovid scene where they're talking to somebody, we might be at Aten. And then the kids on this casino planet. It could very well be two different planets. I'm going to say yes. What do you all say? 80% of you say yes, more than one planet. A droid referred to by name. 100% of you say yes. Will Smee, 33, yes. He's a member of the crew. I think it's very likely they'll say his name. Question 6, a cameo from a named character, not a regular. And this is what we talked about before. Will we maybe see Maz Kanata? I thought when we heard Kim in this last episode, and she was doing the map making, she knew all the planets in the system and all the hyperspace lanes and all of that. I thought, oh, here we go, Maz Kanata. And, you know, she kind of hangs around the seedier side of the universe. The pirates would be in her wheelhouse. Will she be in it? Might we see Maz Kanata or Hondo Ohnaka? Or maybe Pelimoto. Maybe we go back to Tatooine and get some ship repairs from Pelimoto's garage. The Onyx Cinder, you know, it's going to get damaged. We've seen that. So maybe they end up back on Tatooine because everybody goes to Tatooine. I say no. I don't think so. Not in this episode. I would love to be wrong and see Hondo Ohnaka. We definitely, desperately need Hondo Ohnaka in here. But I say no. 60% of you also say no to that. The Onyx Cinder breaks down or malfunctions or is blown up. Well, I think that's how we end up at the casino planet. I think it breaks down. They have the data card to Aten, and the hyperspace drive is gonna cut off on them. They're going to be in bad shape. They're going to be wounded and limping their way somewhere. Might we have that little pew pew scene where the Onyx Cinder gets shot and like partially blown up or completely blown up? Possibly. But I'm going to say, so 50% of you say yes and no. I'm going to say yes. The Onyx Cinder is going to break down or malfunction. That's how they end up not at Aten. Someone uses Star Wars slang. So this is where you get terms like nerf herder, wizard. That's wizard. Dank ferric, carabast, or a buckethead, anything like that. I'm going to say yes. The show is ripe for it. We missed it once anyway, so I'm going to say yes. Someone uses the Force observably. Well, we've seen it a few times. Might we see it in this episode? Might we see it? I'm going to say no. It's possible, but it's just a guess. Just a guess on my part. What do you all say? 90% of you say yes to the slang, and 80% say yes to the Force. That Jod is going to use the Force. Let me put this. It was in the thumbnail. This episode has been said to be the most Neo-centric episode, right? Our little elephant boy. The Neo-centric episode. The backstory of Jod has been said to be in episode 7. And he said, we're going to learn a lot more about Jod towards the end of the season. Well, episode 7 is the end of the season, or towards the end. Episode 8 is the end. So I think episode 7, we'll learn a lot about Jod. This is episode 4. So I'm going to just say no, and it's just a guess. Right? I do not have any indication, but from the previews and stuff, I'm just going to guess no. Again, I could be very, very wrong. Question 10. A species or droid talks in another language with subtitles to translate. It's a common Star Wars trope. We've seen it tons and tons throughout the history of the saga. And I'm going to say no. One of our channel friends said, look, this is a kid's show. They don't want to put things on the screen that the kids would have to read and not be able to keep up with. So I think that's a really strong argument, and I'm going to go with it. So far, it's been a winner, right? Saying no gets you a point. what do you all say? Question 10, 60% of you say no as well. And then bonus, what might happen. And you'll see here in the bonus, I give you how to get points, right? No points for these kind of things, things that are certainly obvious or a negative prediction, those kind of things. 1 point for give me, right? They're just give me answers. And I give you plenty of examples of those. And then 5 points if you go to give specifics, like Hondo Onaka will help the crew. Pelimoto fixes the Onyx Cinder. The crew go to Maz Kanata's castle. Right? We don't have any indication that any of that is going to happen. And here you've said something specific with somebody specific in a specific scenario, right? 5 points. Of a specific planet, like we will visit Takadana. No indication we're going to visit Takadana. If we did, that'd be a 5-pointer. A specific character says a thing, right? If Jod says, I have a bad feeling about this, you predicted it, and he says it, then you could win 5 points. Or an unspecified, a specific unexpected action happens. Like, this is still misspelled. Neil flies in X-Wing, right? That's misspelled, not need. Neil flies in X-Wing. That would be, here, let me fix it. I'm going to fix it. Let's see. Bonus. These are let me go to the questions. I'm just going to fix it right now and go here. Neil. Right. All right. So saved. All right. So there we go. Neil flies an X-Wing. That would be a specific. I'm going to say something relatively specific, but I got to be careful because you can't say something that won't happen. Like Yaddle will not be here. Luke Skywalker will not appear. We will not see Grogu, or we will not visit Tatooine. Right. So if I were to say, and this is what I wanted to say, but what if I said the kids will not return to their homes? Well, that's a negative, right? Not is a 0-pointer. So I have to put this in specific terms, and I'm just going to go with something to be a 1-pointer, and I'm going to say the kids are on the casino, and I'm going to put that in quotes. We don't know it's a casino necessarily. It looks like a casino, right? Planet in this episode, right? I could so there you go. The kids are on a casino planet in this episode. That's a 1-pointer because it's in the previews, right? If you were to say the kids see the crab turtle monster thing in this episode, that's also in the trailer, so that'd be a 1-pointer. So there's my answers. I've submitted my answers. That's how you play the game. You can put your answers in and see if you can do as well as me, right? And I give you my answer, so you know what I've said. There's no question what I've said. The next 2 episodes, though, I'm going to make my predictions. We're not doing a preview show. We're not doing a review show. So Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, no show. And then on New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, we're also not doing a show. All right. So let's get caught up with the chat. See what you all say. Let's see. Gray. I saw Gray says, I don't believe that map will take them back to Aten. That's a good point, Gray. You don't think that the data card is going to take them there? It'll take them somewhere else. Possible, very possible that data card takes them to the casino planet, right? I don't know. What would have happened for this show to be a 10 for 10 for me? What would have to happen to make it a 10 for 10? I'm a big OG guy, right? Original trilogy. I would need to see like Jedi and lightsabers and the Force more prevalent. Um, and I like the sequel trilogy a lot. So to get to 10 out of 10, I'll tell you another thing that would make it a 10 out of 10. Hondo Ohnaka, right? A pirate show with Hondo Ohnaka maybe as a lead character in the show could raise it to a 10 out of 10 for me, right? That Hondo Ohnaka in a lead role, oh, that could do it. KG says, my Padawan actually had a theory that the planet is called something different. They just been told it's at Aten. That's a really good point, KG. Like we live on Earth, but and we call it Earth. That's what we know it as. We've lived here our entire lives for generations. Our civilizations have always called this planet Earth. But you know what they call it from somewhere else? They call it Ataten, right? And I don't know. It could be anything. And we don't know. But because we've been told it's Earth. And that's the only thing we know it as, right? That's a really good point. That's very possible. Sabersmith, hello. Let's hope it doesn't end up like the Razor Crest. Yeah, the Onyx Cinder. Well, we see it blowing up. We see it coming apart. And let me bring those pictures up again because there's two pictures in the sequence that don't look good for the Onyx Cinder to survive. And I posted them on Discord so I can pull them back up. I just got to scroll up to where they are. Here we go. I'm going to open this, and then I'm going to open this. Okay, here we go. And I'll put them back into here. All right, here we go. So if I share these images on the screen, so this is Wim in the gun turret. We've already seen him here in episode 3. We know this is the gun turret on the Onyx Cinder. This is the Onyx Cinder. There's no question about that. It's not some other ship. This is the Onyx Cinder. And you see major parts of the ship blowing off. Like they're coming apart. This ship is like coming apart in major, major ways. Then look at this scene here. Yeah. Here you can see like the cockpit here is completely blown apart. There's nothing left of it. The ship is completely destroyed. Is it completely razor crested, like into tiny bits? No, but man, it does not look good for the Onyx Cinder. Not look good at all. This vehicle. Can the kids from Skeleton Crew find Ahsoka to rescue her and Sabine? I thought that before this show ever aired. I thought that when it said they're going into a dangerous galaxy, I thought, well, maybe somehow like Deep Space Nine, Voyager, like Star Trek Voyager, where they get jettisoned out into far, far, far away with no hope of ever making it back. That they'd somehow end up over in Ahsoka went to Peridia, right? They end up in Peridia somehow. And that's where they find Ahsoka and Sabine. And then they come back with them. I don't think so. No, that does not appear to be in the cards. I think Ahsoka season 2 is going to have to bring them back. KG, Ahsoka and Sabine should be in another galaxy right now. They are. They're over in Peridia. Mike Porter, you can't say anything like you will not see Luke Skywalker not surf with Han Solo while singing Jingle Bells. Oh, that's right. That's a no-pointer, Mike. Well done. I'm hoping they find the treasure as well as Hondo. Wouldn't it be great? Like they're just lying to us and Hondo Ohnaka is going to be there. That'd be great. Seeing a grown-up Omega would be a 10 out of 10. I would love to see a grown-up Omega as part of the look. We saw where they used the term. They used it. It was going to be a show, and then it didn't happen. Right. what was it called? Rangers of the New Republic, right? They used that term, Rangers of the New Republic. Could Omega be a pilot in the Rangers of the New Republic? Might she be the leader of the Rangers of the New Republic? Wouldn't that be great? We've already seen some of the Rangers. Maybe we see Omega. I would love it. I just don't think so. Brogu. The thing with the name of the planet is that the pirates and everyone knows of Aten. They think it's a myth. That name is obviously real. The name is real, but does the name attach to the planet they are actually on? Good question. We don't know. Delta Quadrant. Question. How do the kids get into a casino? The kids, does Jod make them fake IDs? Oh, well, we see that they're wearing costumes, right? The one's got a great big beard, way bigger than mine. But the one kid's wearing this huge pirate beard. It's fantastic. So, look, I'm excited about tonight's episode. I'm very much looking forward to it. We'll see how my predictions do. Please play along. It's a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun. And then tomorrow we'll come back here again. We'll grade episode 4. We'll go through our predictions and we will, wrong one. Sorry, Mike. I gave away the I gave away the ending before I gave the question. So we'll grade your predictions. We'll see if you can make it onto the Wall of Fame or on the season leaderboard. You'll go up there until we grade the next show, so you can get your name up there for free. It costs you nothing. You go out and you make 10 silly predictions, and if you can do as well or better than me, you can make it on the season leaderboard too and see your name in the ticker right there. Costs you $0 to do that, right? So we have how's the poll doing? Great question, Mike Porter. I appreciate you asking. Or Fitz, Star Wars Fitz. I appreciate you asking. So I'm going to end the poll, and it says, will you be watching the Skeleton Crew on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve? 76% of you who answered the poll during the live stream said both. You're going to watch them both on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. You'll watch the premiere. Neither 17%. 17% say, nah, I'm not going to make it. We got other things going on. And then Christmas Eve, but not New Year's, 5%. And New Year's, not Christmas, 0. So there you go. Joshua says, do you think we might get a season 2? We might. We have a big problem in Star Wars, though. And look, I am a huge fan of Disney Plus live action Star Wars. These shows are made for me. I've loved every single one of them. Mike Porter and some of my peers that are, old people like me, KG, Mike Porter. We've got Rural Farm Boy, Skywalker's Academy. We all have done really well with all these shows. I don't think there's a single show that we were like garbage, right? We love them. The problem we have with Disney Plus live action Star Wars series is a return on investment issue. The cost versus profit. Profitability. Can you make money when you spend however much it costs, right? These budgets are varying. And one of the problems that the Acolyte had was a very large budget. The Acolyte had a very large budget. By all means, Skeleton Crew has a healthy budget as well. Can they get enough views to warrant a second season? Quality, in people's opinion, right? You could be giving every single episode a 10 out of 10. On Rotten Tomatoes, it might have a 99.9% tomato meter. You go to IMDb and it scores a 10 out of 10. Like on all of these sites, it might be doing great. But if there's not enough people watching, it won't get another season. Doesn't matter how good it is. Doesn't matter how much you like it. People have to watch. So I keep hoping that we will see viewership climb. I want it to go right off the top. I want it to soar right through the ceiling and go right to the top of the list and be number one on new streaming originals, be number one on Disney Plus, and be just breaking all kinds of records, because then it would be much easier to warrant a second season. Man, I want that. I want it in the worst way. Is it going to happen? I don't know. I hope so. I hope so. I really want it. How much money do you think Disney makes each month for all Disney Plus subscribers? I thought $1 billion. Oh, it's high. Very high, as K2SO would say. Very high. It's a lot. But when we get to ROI, they have to be able to, like, they're spending a lot of money too. And I think Disney Plus is just now getting close to the break-even point. They've been spending more than they've been making. And they're at that tipping point. So they need it to go into the black, right? They need it to get into profitability. And that means spending less and making more. And however much they're making, they need to make more. How much they're spending, they need to spend less. And that's the problem we have. That's the problem. We can think it's worth it, right? We can really think it's worth it. Yeah, Mike says I love it too, and the Marvel as well. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. KG, I want to believe it'll happen. Me too, KG. Me too. I really want it to happen. Hope we see more Luke Skywalker in the future. I do too. I've heard rumors of different things that are in the works. None of them confirmed that we will get more Luke Skywalker. But boy, I would love to see post Return of the Jedi Luke Skywalker. That'd be fantastic. Nathan says they are shifting to movies, right? You get that box office money, it pays bills, right? You got to keep the budget in line. But if you can get the butts in seats and sell those tickets and make some money, you can keep making content, right? Seeing a Star Wars is a great experience, especially if it's good and turned into an event. Well, that's what George Lucas did, right? He wouldn't give us Star Wars for a decade or more, and then you get you starving to death. You ever been so hungry that anything sounds good, right? You're like, I don't really feel like having peanut butter and jelly today. Whatever. Oh. Well, you wait a couple hours and peanut butter and jelly starts to sound really good. Or maybe it's something else, right? But you're just like, I don't know what I want. But if you wait long enough, you get hungry enough, everything starts to sound good. And that's what George Lucas did with Star Wars. He waited so long, people were starving for it. And when we get the Phantom Menace come out, people flocked to the theaters to see it. Even people who hated it went to see it, and maybe went to see it 2 or 3 times because they were starving for Star Wars. The Force Awakens comes out, and people are starving for Star Wars, and they flock to go see it. I hope that we're able to get more people to go see it. Skeleton Crew is 1,000,000 times more entertaining than Andor. Gray, I'm not going to fight you on that. Right? Andor was incredibly boring. I could hardly watch it. I don't think it was boring, but it wasn't this fun. It was great writing, awesome Star Wars. It had all the Star Wars in it. Made me a happy fan, but it was nowhere near this fun, right? Nowhere near this fun. We have a Mike Porter dad joke. We're going to close out today. We'll see you all tomorrow. So before you go, the Mike Porter dad joke. It says, what's the best way to deal with Darth Vader when he loses his temper? What's the best way to deal with Darth Vader when he loses his temper? Well, when he blows a fuse, you open his chest plate and change it. Mike Porter. I took some liberty with Mike's joke. I switched it around a little bit, but that's the crux of it. Mike Porter, thank you so much. Inspired. dad jokes. You guys make sure you're following Mike Porter on the Twitter machine. Right? We love Mike. Thanks for being here, you all. Dawn caught you all in time for the end of the show. Hello, anyway. Thank you for that. You guys take care. Have a wonderful day. And I can't wait to talk to you next time. Until then, my friends, ho, 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 Merry Christmas. And may the force be with you always. Bye-bye.